Have you ever noticed how the baby registry, the baby industry, they're like hundreds of products. You need this, you need this. But really you see parents using the same 15 to 20 items all the time on repeat, the classics. If you're building your baby registry, I want to encourage you to focus on the daily users, the grind, the everyday in the thick of raising your baby items first. We want to start with these on our baby registry and not get overwhelmed by the gadgets, the gizmos, the trends, and the just nifty things to have. Let's start with sleep. So everyday users, okay? I skipped the bassinet, so we're gonna go straight to the crib. So crib mattress protector, crib sheets, 2 or 3 is my recommendation. Then what is baby wearing? So sleepers, swaddle, maybe a wearable blanket when their arms are out, but you still want them warm because we're not putting blankets on our babies. And then the next 2 items are a little bit of that like tier up. It would be a baby monitor. I use the Vava. I recommend a baby monitor with a split screen and get 2 cameras, even with your first child, so you can use it if you're gonna have 2. Just a recommendation. And then the Hatch nightlight. I love this thing. Is it a absolute necessity? For some people, no, skip it, don't get it. Get, just a baby monitor and you're good. For us, it's a like scheduler, and it helped us with transitioning from the crib to the big bed. For us, the Hatch is totally a winner. I can link a video going more into detail on that, but for me, that's an everyday user. All of these items we use every single day. And also, a lot of these are for long term. Now, like sleepers, swaddles, they're outgrowing, but the crib, you could use that 3 to 4 years, depending. And also, you could use it for your next child. We want a long life, okay? And everyday users, long life, that's where you're getting your best value. Next, let's go into feeding. So starting at the infant age, bottles are your everyday user. If you go the bottle route, formula as well. Of course, that's more of a consumable rather than gear. Now, I was a breastfeeding mama, so my everyday grabs were things like the nursing cover. Not much more beyond that because I just nursed directly. Then for some people, it could be the pump. Obviously, we're not going to go too far down that road, but beyond that, it's going to be burp cloths. Any way you're feeding your baby, you're going to want burp cloths. It's an everyday grab multiple times a day. You don't need to have 50 of them. Just use them and honestly throw them straight in the washer so they go through the next load. Like keep them on kind of like a cycle of like quickly being washed, quickly being used. Don't have a stack. You don't need that many. Another everyday user in the newborn phase, if you do bottles, would be a bottle brush for in the sink to wash the bottles. As they grow up, it's going to be the plates, the bowls, the silverware, the cups, and then I like silicone bibs with like the little catcher in the bottom. Those are everyday users multiple times a day during that toddler phase. If you can get them plates and bowls that they can use like as kind of like babies into toddlerhood and young children, great. My oldest is 6. We're still using the same plates from like when she was 6 months old. Get things that are going to last a while. And yes, you can put some of these on your baby registry. Don't go too far ahead. Don't buy things for when they're 2, 3, and 4. But feeding stuff you could use as early as 6, 7, 8 months old. So I don't think it's a bad idea to put it on your baby registry. And it's an everyday user, so it's worth it. Now, another thing I want to point out is not all the items I'm mentioning are expensive. Some of them are quite cheap. The point is they're practical and they're everyday users that bring value to your life and life of your baby. Now let's touch on travel and transportation. So my everyday users are going to be a car seat. Now you could do the infant one or the convertible. Honestly, if you're going to do the infant, I like the infant one. I would do that route again. Consider putting a convertible on your baby registry. I know that's like hitting at a year mark, but it really would be nice to get help with that purchase, not gonna lie. And then the other one for me that is just a good one, maybe not every day, but was my travel system. Now I got a infant car seat, a base for in the car seat to click it into, and then a jogger stroller. I didn't use the stroller every single day. Now it's good to get outside, take walks, use the stroller often. But the car seat and the base would have been more like my everyday users, even multiple times a day. Obviously, important items, we gotta transport baby safely. The other thing I wanna mention that makes it onto some of my lists, sometimes it doesn't, would be a mirror or a camera with a screen for in the car. When they're rear facing, I like to see their face. Okay, sometimes babies literally can choke on their spit, or maybe their head's in a really awkward position and you need to stop and make sure that they are okay. So I do strongly recommend that item. It's one that also can last a while and can be very affordable. They're gonna be rear facing as long as you can fit them that way, which could be anywhere between like 2 and 3. I lasted as long as I felt like I could on mine because I know it is safer. Not an expert in that category, so do your own research. Next, of course, diapering. So babies gotta eat, they gotta sleep, they gotta get transported, and they gotta do diapering, okay? So for me, the everyday essentials, diaper caddy to just keep you a little bit organized. It's not like a must-have. You could literally use an Amazon box and like divide it up. But diaper caddy for me, diapers, wipes, potentially like a booty cream, and like I like the spatulas, I do. Diapering doesn't have to be complicated. I don't do a like changing table. I don't do a changing pad that has covers on it. No, you can keep it pretty simple and make sure it's items that you're going to use every day. Okay, again, diapers, wipes. For me, the diaper caddy was an essential. Then we got a couple random items. So pacifier clips. For me, we use pacifiers, even though I breastfed. Don't be afraid of it. I've got more videos talking about that as well, but we did pacifiers, and I like pacifier clips for out in public. You don't want the binky falling on the floor. That's disgusting. Then it would be other items for like in their room that I consider everyday users. This would be things like hangers, potentially drawer organizers, a dresser. It's up to you if you want that on your registry, you purchase that on your own. And then things like a hamper. So this is just gonna keep you organized, but it's every day. Clothes go in the hamper every single day. So it is a everyday user and it's a practical item. And then one more would be something like a blanket. I used a blanket, like a little quilt for changing diapers on. I would also use one in the middle of our living room as a floor blanket when they were an infant and crawling and rolling and just doing tummy time and all that jazz. So a couple blankets, nice to have as well. And they were everyday users for us. Oh, and one more that I did forget, the diaper bag. Obviously, you want to have some sort of diaper bag for the transportation section as well. Forgot to mention that one, but want to throw that on here. What else am I forgetting? I'm sure I'm forgetting plenty. Go ahead and leave them in the comments for the experienced mamas to leave to the new mamas. Now, we want to keep it practical, focused, things you are grabbing every single day. All right, start with these. Focus on these. And if you're feeling overwhelmed by creating your baby registry with all the noise, all the products, I do personalized baby registry reviews. I will ask you about your lifestyle, what your plans are for raising your baby, and then look through your baby registry and tell you what I think you need to add and what I think you need to cut. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and look for the link down in the description as well as in the first pinned comment. Thanks so much for watching. Check out more videos similar to this on my channel that will guide you in the right direction to building the best baby registry possible. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a great day.